serving the learner's need. This is our goal as teachers. And this image is very important for me. I started to work with Indonesian teachers during the hardest time, during the pandemic time. And you can see how we realize even hands-on activities during the pandemic time. So just feel this experience with the teacher. It was very interesting opportunity to do STEAM activity, hands-on STEAM activity, but I was away from Indonesia. I couldn't come to Indonesia since this day. So my collaboration with Indonesia started during the day when there was no possibility to meet with Indonesian teachers. However, physical meeting is very important also in STEAM. For international speakers, international facilitators, and that gave me the opportunity to spend a lot of weeks, a lot of time with Indonesian teachers, though I was never met in person, any of them. You are among the first ones whom I can meet in person. Yes. And I would like to dedicate this talk to all of you whom I can meet in person, because for your trust and perseverance. I also wrote here a very strange word. This is in Finnish. It's titsu. Have you heard this word, titsu? Titsu means perseverance. Perseverance, which is a very central concept to Finland. And as you can see, if we talk about important points about Finland, trust is among the first ones to be mentioned. So I really believe that there are a lot of common things between Finland and Indonesia. So I also felt your very high level of tolerance, empathy, warmness, welcomingness towards guests, towards me. I think that's another point to collect us. In Finland, there is also very important that it's a horizontal society. We can say that we don't have hierarchy in a traditional sense. We have organizational settings, but no kind of traditional social difference between people and people. We have also believing in public education, free education from the early childhood to the university level, and also lifelong learning education is a very strong point. We also believe in the public healthcare, accessibility, and also well-being and health as a main agenda in our society and main agenda in our education. So I will mention quite a few times well-being during my talk. And we believe social security, also safety must be a key point also in the schools. School must be a safe place for self-expression, safe place for self-fulfillment, and also safe place where students no need to stress, right? So this is the very good school where you like to go and you don't need to stress, because learning must be a joyful and meaningful activity, and school cannot be responsible for disappointing children about learning. So if we want lifelong learning, school must be the place where you start to love learning, and you have the perseverance all of your life to be a learner. This is a key important. As we are having math education also very near us, I should mention some numbers. So in Finland, we have seasons. So don't get believe to any legend that we have only winter. No, we have also winter, summer, autumn, spring. All seasons are represented. And when I mention numbers, I must point out that another important connection between our countries, that you are the world's largest archipelago country, right? You have a lot of water surrounding you. Also, you have a lot of islands, right? Indonesia is really country of many islands, many cultures, many uh, different localities. So Finland is just like that. Maybe we have a little bit less salt water. We have no ocean, but we have sea. We have seaside, and most water is actually coming from the lakes. We have 187,088 lakes. Maybe it was yesterday's detail. I don't know. Maybe today it's a bit more or less, because there are even very small ponds in Finland. And we have 76,000 islands. So this is a huge number. And I think when we compare it with Indonesia, we can know that there is, let me see, there is a quite high number of islands, as you know, and quite many archipelagos in the country. But I would like to point out also that another connection point, maybe a little bit different way, that Finland has 5.5 million inhabitants. So not too much. Moreover, it's like a city in Indonesia, right? Like a bigger city in Indonesia. That's all Finland. However, we have 3 million saunas. You know what is sauna? Sauna? Yes. A very small building, maybe on the lakeside, where you chop wood, make fire, and you throw water on the stones, the heated stone, and then steam. Another kind of steam comes and it heats up the air, makes it very humid, and Finnish people love to go sauna. So I have a very good news to Finland. I found the world's largest open air sauna in Indonesia. So come to Finland, from Finland to Indonesia, enjoy open air sauna. You don't need to build sauna. It's you go out from the building, it's everywhere because it's very humid, very hot. So this is world's largest open air sauna. I really love this. So let's turn to the Finnish education. This is why we are here. Finnish education many times presented as a miracle, right? That we even don't really know about where it comes from, right? There is more words about the future, where we go, what we do in the future, but I think you can't understand the future and present without knowing about the past, right? And as we are in a university, Pallas Athena, as a Greek goddess of science, was told to be jumped out from Zeus' head in full armor and full weaponry. And Finnish education many times presented like that, that it's just a miracle appeared from nowhere. So this is not true. I must say that Finnish education explanation is much in its history. And my university have a lot to do with this history. University of Jyväskylä, University in Central Finland. The first academic institution, Royal Academy of Turku, was founded in the 1640 in Turku. That was the old capital of Finland. Now the capital called Helsinki. Helsinki is the capital. It's changed. It's moved over the history. However, it was a Swedish language institution because in that time Finland was under Swedish rule. After time, there was many decades when Finland was under Russian rule. So Finland is similarly to Indonesia announced its independence like 100, a little bit more than 100 years ago. So very close, like 30 years difference with 32 years difference with Indonesia. So 1917, that was Finland's announcement of its independence. And then your country's independence was followed a little bit later. But I can say that we are both like young nations in terms of organization of our institutions. However, we have strong traditions, long traditions, and this makes a unique combination that I think we are not burdened by these institutional traditions to make innovation embraced in our country. So this is what I felt also in Indonesia. There is a lot of flexibility also in education and the flexibility to develop, flexibility to go forth. And I think this is very similar to Finland. Let me share one personal detail that I celebrated Indonesian independence in the last 43 years of my life. How come? That's my birthday. Yes, August 17 is my birthday. So there is something in my in my life what brought me here finally. So thanks a lot. Uh, However, back to Finland. So in 1863, our university, University of Jyväskylä, started in central Finland, and we've been the first university which offered Finnish language education. That was really important for the independence also, because if a nation wants to born, then connecting language is a key issue. I think it was a key issue also in Indonesia, where you have a lot of languages, so you needed to find a way to communicate together. That was also a big issue in Finland. And actually, our university started as a early childhood, a kindergarten teacher seminar. So that was the beginning. So we started at the bottom, the roots. We wanted to raise the child after born. And that's still very important in Finland. Early childhood education is the foundation of all schooling. And to invest the most in the early childhood education, to have the most spending per capita, this is still in Finland nowadays, still the early childhood education. I'm not comparing now with the higher education because that's a different. I'm talking about basic education, right? So K-12 and before. So we are really proud of this tradition. We still have early childhood education program. We have now full teacher education program, of course. And we've been the first university which gave certificate, diploma, awards for women to become teachers. Before that, it was a male profession. So another very important point from our tradition, what we want to bring forward. And I met several people in the university already. Some of them graduated in Japan, in the most advanced technologized society around the world. Some others graduated in Germany, the very great tradition of Bildung. Bildung, that's education main model in the traditional sense. Humboldt made this idea. And actually, in Germany, there was also a lot of reform movements in education, as you know it from your studies from education history. So if you heard the name Fröbel, he was early childhood educator, and he sort of rediscovered childhood. Before that, children was meant to be like small adults, like miniature adults. I was very sorry to see sometimes in my walk in streets in Indonesia that very small kids like was like miniature adults. They was earning their money. It's not the way. And actually, Fröbel was wanted to give back childhood to the children, that they are not main goal is to work, not main goal is to earn money, but main goal but to play. To play. This is the key of the learning. They need to play. They need to be child. This was the first gift what Finnish teachers sent to Switzerland, to Germany, brought back to Finland. There is also physical toolkit, verbal gifts. It is hands-on activity material. It's same kind of toolkit what we use for team learning today. You can check. It's many kind of related actually handcraft and also hands-on working, but in a playful way. So it's a skill development set, physical set, what they brought back to Finland. If you will visit to Finland, I will be happy to host you. We will go to the University Museum. You can find the same toolkits what they brought in the second half of 19th century. There was also Steiner education, Waldorf school. There was Montessori, of course, and later many other reform movements, Emilia Reggio, more and more, which they brought back to Finland. And Finnish education was adapted this. Never took anything granted, never took anything like as a product, like one-to-one. There is no one fits for all policy in education. That's if someone wants to tell it, try to step back. That's a lie. That's not working. You need to adapt to your situation. Education is always responding to the needs. Needs are always very specific, and this is what started Finnish education. So we also had afterwards a very modern idea, education for all. That was not like education for the selected few, not to reproduce social inequality, but producing social equality. That was the goal, social transformation, social shift in education. Education as the vehicle of social transformation. That was the goal, and that was the Kansakoulu, education for the people, education for everyone, education for the whole nation, including everyone. And rural education was very important. Finland is a very rural country. We don't have too many cities. We have a lot of villages, a lot of farms. That was also a big challenge, how to connect these places. So we had a very modern idea, school network school, where there was no internet, no nothing about network theory, nothing, but school network is already been established, like little farms joined forces, little villages joined forces. They hosted teacher, they invited very good teacher, they paid together teacher, and also like school was going around in a village from house to house. Okay, this week you are the responsible, next week you are the responsible. So there's a lot of cooperation between the people, and that's led to the today's school system is based on this school network. So fantastic idea. And then our university also developed during the time. It became a teacher seminary and teacher college of education in the 1930s. And then we become a university with 4 faculties first. Now we have 6 faculties, and we have a variety of studies, including also high tech. So not only education remain core, but we have cyber security, for example, very important, nanotechnology. We have a particle collider in our campus. So if you heard about CERN, one of the world's largest hadron collider, so all the teams who go to CERN come to training to our campus. And we use also this hadron collider for science popularization. We are very happy that children come to our campus and visit these labs, visit these facilities. We also have health education, and also sports research. So I brought you a little video, which I would like to show you. It shows all of these facilities. So it's a little tour in our campus. But the special thing about this that my colleagues are the main characters in the video, and not only them, but their families. So you can also see a little bit about family life in Finland. So a little bit home and office relation, and you can also see a lot of snow because this video was made in probably in December, January, I believe January, February. So very snowy season. Let me try to share this video. So welcome to Finland. I hope you will one day visit in person too.
It's not about me alone. It's not about you on a throne. It's not about me succeeding. It's not about you believing. It's about us. It's you and me in this together. It's about us. It's not about winning a fight. It's not about being right. It's not about making the biggest hit. It's not about simply just doing it. It's about us. It's you and me in this together. It's about us. What we are is greater than the sum of its parts. What we are is greater than the sum of its parts. What we are is greater than the sum of its parts. What we are is greater than the sum of its parts.
Thank you so much. So I really hope to welcome you. And this building might not be the most welcoming from the outside, but this is very modern architecture in the 50s. Alvar Aalto, who was the main architecture and designer in Finland, he designed our main campus. So it's also an architectural site. A lot of STEAM activities also connected to architecture. So equity, equality, inclusion, these are very important keywords in education, and lifelong learning, highly qualified teachers, early childhood education. So these are those keywords which I will bring forward also in the talk, and research, innovation, and how it connects also to international collaboration. So it's a very big thing for me and also for my university that with the support of Irma Rahma and her colleagues, I became the adjunct professor of University of Education in Indonesia. So I'm officially connected to your university, and we will use this connection to extend our international collaborations here in Indonesia and also in Finland. So, uh, of course, digital development is very important, digital transformation and global responsibility. This also belongs to the international cooperation. So that's why I also mentioned sustainability. So that's also part of our global responsibility. And of course, when we talk about today's main tendencies, we should mention digital literacy. So digital transformation is a key issue. I will talk about this as well in terms of STEAM and beyond. Entrepreneurship, entrepreneurial thinking. I know that Indonesia is also a startup country. There are wonderful things coming from Indonesia in the startup world, and that's necessarily will have a very good connection with STEAM education, with multidisciplinary learning, because creative industry, that's really the future, and that's really STEM and STEAM education required in creative industry, because the large presence of technology and also those kind of 21st century skills what you need to be a worker in a creative industry startup. So let me have a little highlights which a little bit contextualize education system, because education is never exist in a bubble. It's not in a vacuum, but it's always very integral part of society. And also in some cases, it's like a small mirror of whole society. So you can see in the drop the whole ocean, as we say in a metaphor. If you look at the school, you learn a lot about society. So and this not exist without each other. So Finnish society is really children centered. So there are a lot of details, a lot of statistics which shows that how mother and the child and situation of children is very well protected in Finland. So Finland is among the first five in the whole world about situation of mothers and children, and many aspects. So also when we continue, so I started a little bit focused from the birth, from the moment of birth. We also have the uh, baby box. Baby box. Baby box is not means box in baby in a box, no, but maybe means that when someone born, then family gets baby box, and baby box is full of clothes, full of baby food, full of toys, and also uh, hygienic tools also for the baby and for the whole family. So that's another effort to make this equal, very high level start for everyone. And the box itself can serve as a cradle. There is a very fine pillow and a blanket in the box. So it's a beautiful and very high quality, very fashionable clothes. So in the first 3 years, maybe family don't need to buy a lot of things, because also in Finland the weather, you need a lot of layers of clothes, and this is all provided in the baby box. So this is it all started. But when we continue, so you know how many challenges to grow up, right? That's a very challenging process. We all going through in that, and we are not yet finished. We are still growing up, never-ending story, full of challenges. However, young people are happiest also among Finland is among the countries where young people are reported to be happy. Of course, it's not a utopia. We have all the problems, all the challenges like everywhere around the world. We have very high challenges, very high problems, very high degree problems. However, still in average by statistics, we try to do effort to make it work for young people. And also education for the adults. This is what you need to consider as well. So impact all the adulthood. So lifelong learning should really happen uh, until our last day of our life. And we have very good results also in this regard. Also, Finland is known as a country where people, irrespective of gender, have and other differences, have good possibilities to be active in society. So activation and health care is very important. So we want to have active citizens who ready to contribute to the common good, to the common goals. We have also very good results in that. And to your vice dean, who had the study field about plant-based genetic technologies, he worked a lot about pine tree. So this is for slide for him. This is the Finnish gold. Yes. So this is gold in Finland. You have a lot of gold, other kind of metal gold, but this is the Finnish gold. The wood, the forest, the nature. This is what we really want to bring forward. And of course, nowadays business is around digitalization, innovation. So that's why we need STEAM and STEM. Oh, yeah. And when there is no news in the media, there is nothing interesting happening in local politics, then there is a article what you can always find in your newspaper or in the television. That's why Finland is happiest country of the world, right? That's in every year at a certain moment when there is nothing to talk about, there is why Finland is the happiest country of the world. But again, let me tell you that what is the statistics is about, because it's not always told, so or not any time told. That is about social support. So people feel socially supported. People feel that they have a good income. Maybe not too rich. No one is rich, but very good income. They can afford to what they need. Again, needs-based society. And then good healthcare. They are feeling good, that they are feeling protected if they have something happen. Uh, Merdekar, freedom, right? Merdekar, freedom. Yes, uh, that's very important for Finnish people too. So another connection. We are also saying freedom, and generosity. Another connecting point. Oh, I got so many gifts. I will have very big problem in the airport when I go home. I need to explain that, look, I got so many gifts from this wonderful people. Please let me go to Finland, because generosity very important. And public foundation. People are affording to return to the society, to the education, to public foundations, caritative organizations. This is very important. And absence of corruption. Another connecting point. I know that you are very strong against corruption. So these are all good. Equity is very important. Equality and equity as a classic difference nowadays. So that belongs to the happiness and education for all, preparing for the future. So now we are arriving to the future, lastly, slowly. But I think we couldn't skip this part, right? Do you agree with me? Because without this, I can present very shiny highlights, but I think we have no context for this, and no insight and nothing to learn from that. You want to adapt. You need also to learn what I say and watch what I say critically, critical thinking. You need to compare with your own situation. You need to use your reflection. You don't take anything granted, what I say. You don't think that you will adapt it, you will take it one to one to your situation, but now you start to think and you start to make the work how to adapt to your situation. This is the work what we cannot skip. So what's happening in Finland? Again, similarity with Indonesia. So maybe our education, like in our grandparents' time, was that someone learned something and that was a profession for a life. That was identity. We learned to be a doctor, to be a lawyer, to be a shoemaker, to be I don't know, to be the farmer. That was our identity. What's happening today? A career is not 20 years, not 10 years. In Finland, now career 1 to 5 years. 1 year is a career, 5 year is a career. And then you can find yourself outplaced, but you don't find outplaced yourself. You find in a place to call to reskilling, reskilling. So it's never outplacement, but it's always a calling for reskilling. This is also what is a very flexible Finnish characteristic, and that's the point for the lifelong learning, reskilling, upskilling, and developing the competencies. So if you take a look to the diagram about basic education in Finland, you can find the importance of the early years. Also, we have a very ambitious goal. We want to have within a few years 50% of the whole population to have higher education degree. Every second people in Finland must have university or college degree. This requires effort. So we raised up from 16 to 18 the school compulsory time. This is not easy. Always, again, I want to present you that there are many challenges with this. So it's not just a story of successes. We can see in the inclusive education where we have integrated classrooms, we have non-segregating classrooms. It's not that easy for teachers to serve these many needs in an inclusive classroom up to 18 years. And also teachers have a lot of issues, a lot of challenges, a lot of effort in this regard. Also, there were teacher strike in Finland not too long ago, also connected to the pandemic and to the disappointment and to higher social rank. So many things are changing also in Finland. That's also very good to see when you think about Finnish education. That is not just in a shelf exhibited, but it's a living, organic part of the society, which requires a lot of attention and a lot of care. From this slide, I would like to point out this middle line where you have the cross sections, these crosses between the different parts of the education. So Finnish education is meant to offer this cross path that you're not supposed to learn in the kindergarten that you want to be a lawyer or a doctor or a farmer. No, maybe you need time to find out what's your skills, what's your interests to become yourself. Maybe you can change career when you are 50, when you are 60, or so later. I will show you that today the generations and population gets older, for example, in Finland. So providing the learning also for the third age to the senior age is a really important thing. Again, there is a in this diagram what is goes along the education system is the joy and motivation of learning and joy of learning and knowledge and skills needed in life, and also to have the transversal competencies nurtured through the subject combination. So here comes STEAM and STEM and interdisciplinary learning. So there are the subjects. In Finland, there are still subjects, and very important that we have subjects. But we also want to see that what's beyond the subject learning, how subjects should be combined. Because if you think about learning for life, there is a problem in life that's never just a pure problem of pure mathematics or pure physics or pure chemistry. But in life, you face with very complex issues. Also in the workplace, if you work, you need to combine these perspectives, what you learn from school. Maybe you will also add some wisdom, which is not scientific knowledge, but very important also to come across and come beyond the obstacles. So you have many things to consider. What is actually very powerful that when we look at the set of the key competencies, what we are really want to nurture, then these key competencies are the same for the whole basic education system. From year 0 to 18, we have the same competence system. Maybe the name is a little bit changing over, but and also we have maybe 5 areas in early childhood that is extended to 7 later, but these are the same. And I would like to point out now maybe 2 is thinking and learning to learn. So basic education, we don't want to see that basic education is meant to create miniature scientists, miniature Nobel laureates, and very, I don't know, very exceptional people. But we want to see that how their joy of learning and how the technique of learning, how do we learn the cognitive development for learning different things is established in basic education. That's our main goal. And the other thing is sustainability, which is there, so participating in a sustainable future. So this also connects that how we invest into research and development in the society, leadership in digitalization, and also sustainable energy solutions. That's really on the social level comes very important. Also to maintain with the rural culture, very important. Also how to refocus industry, because there's a lot of things happening. I already mentioned creative industry as a new breakout point for Finland and probably for Indonesia too. I already mentioned shortening career cycles, which comes to close. And this means an even more flexible and dynamic learning opportunity to be provided on all levels of education. So micro learning becomes very important, micro credentials, also this just in time training that maybe for your phone, when you have a long way to commute to your workplace, you have the opportunity to log in and do a course on something what you need. And also to recognize that every learner is different needs in the system. So individualized, personalized learning becomes important on a systemic level, on the wall scale level. It's not only just in the classroom, not only differentiation in the classroom, but differentiation, personalization opportunities in the whole system. And actually, this very closely connects us to the work life, because also work places need to train continuously their workers, and they will have very specific needs of skills and also continuous skill development. So digital learning platforms, online resources becomes very important at all level of education. And then these all institutes needs to also be connected, needs to be combined, and also need to be have the connection with the work life. So it's a very high level interconnectedness of learning, which we see. And we can see now like lifelong learning 5.0. So if we talked about different industrial evolution and also the change of the culture, uh, we can see also that we are entering into a new age of lifelong learning as well. I already mentioned paradigm shift related to the aging in society. So at least in Finland, we have a very high life expectancy, as you can see. It's over 80 years. What a child born today, we expect that over 80 years, and this is just growing. So after 60, we talk about a later midlife, right? When people retire, then they have a lot of amount of free time, but they want to be active in society. They want to learn. They want to reskill. They want to new profession maybe in that age. I had a 70 years old student, master student in university. Yeah, that was not only one. That was really really nice learning opportunity for me too. How to handle, teacher and student when student was more wise than me and could be my grandfather. So that was really interesting opportunity for me to learn. And this means that formal education is really transforming. Again, STEAM, STEM brings more informal learning also in the classroom. So though I'm talking about big picture now, maybe you just can't wait that when I will talk about classroom practices in maths. But I think this is again very much important to get to this point, and also this affects policy. So STEM and STEAM is not a matter, as you know, it's a policy, and a policy which can induce a lot of methods, like maybe making a mixture of different methods in your everyday practice. So this is very important, these tendencies to recognize. So there is a big thing happening now. All universities in Finland is combined. Now we have this digital vision, Digivisio 2030, where we are recognizing that universities need to step even more closer to the lifelong learning market and lifelong learning scene. And we need to serve all these different learners with very different needs. And maybe we can check another video about this, if I manage to open this. You see? Yes. Moment. Okay, it's opening now. Yes, and let me share here. Put down.
People's expectations and habits have People's expectations and habits have changed more in the past 10 years than in previous decades. As the amount of workforce decreases and technology breaks boundaries between countries, competition for experts has become even more intense. The aged nation must give its everything when competing for the labour market stars that leave Finland. Learners need to succeed in international competition, where average learning content and pedagogy are not enough. The need to constantly learn new skills is a part of everyone's life at work, and there is a great risk of learning becoming unequal. While some shine, weaving and bobbing effortlessly between large entities and small details, others are experiencing a nearly insurmountable challenge of even completing basic education. But what if we can choose a different future? What if we are already aiming to make continuous learning and competence building a natural part of everyone's lives in 2030? The focus has shifted from organisations to learners. Higher education institutions cooperate across school and educational boundaries more than ever before. The production of joint studies and the construction of systems have enabled higher education institutions to focus on their core tasks. Learners, students and people supplementing their skills, have access to a wide range of studies across institutional boundaries, allowing them to put together study entities that are suitable for them. For some sectors, the role of formal degrees remains equally present, and for others, the recognition of competence is more and more based on smaller study modules and continuous learning. Above all, learners see themselves as consumers of content, experiences and services that improve their quality of life. Learners' data is utilised across institutional boundaries, although learners have the final say on how their data is shared. Invisible background systems work seamlessly together, and learners are presented with a single uniform user interface. People look back at the rigid systems and mentalities of the past decades with slight amusement, if at all. Learning is available independent of time and place for everyone willing. The learning experience is immersive without compromising academic quality and pedagogy. The system identifies individuals who need support but may not be able to request it. Despite close cooperation and a uniform digital service, higher education institutions retain their own identity and profile precisely where they want to offer world-class learning. The studies also involve an extensive network of content and study modules produced by parties outside the higher education institutions. Wisdom and its growth can live in surprising places when we do not allow traditional boundaries or bureaucracy to slow us down. The 10-year journey to Digivisio will not be easy. It will require broader thinking and cooperation that breaks through institutional boundaries. It requires the belief that a cosmetic change alone is not enough. Instead, we must accept intermittent backlash of structures and question many mantras that have been learned. The journey may wear down an individual traveller, but together we can make it. Digivisio is the biggest transformation journey of learning in this century.
Yeah, so you are welcome to check this out. There are a lot of materials available about this, and it's already in this year we start piloting of the system. And as you can imagine, AI is also have a key part in this because in the personalization of the learning paths, you need to have the opportunity to select between different micro credentials what you get. The system needs to take this into account, and then you must get advice where to the next step. System needs to remind you if you combine these courses, you might get this certificate, that diploma. So it's a very flexible system. Even non-university students will be able to join to study and pick some course from any universities in Finland. So this is quite a big jump, a big leap for us. But as you can see, it's not coming from like a miracle, but it's coming from all of this what I already explained. So I already talked about how informal learning and formal learning is combined, and how is a necessity to bring more informal learning in our traditional educational institutes. This is our library in the campus, university library. This got Finland's main architecture award last year because of the renewal, the restoration of the library. We found out that how many different learning needs are there. So someone needs a silent space to read and learn. Others want to make meetings. Another want to be in a very vibrant cafeteria. There will be needed maybe a gallery for art. There will be needed a streaming auditorium for other activities. There will be needed for traditional classroom, flexible classroom, hybrid classrooms, maybe a very comfortable couch just to lay down a bit with a good book, or some pots, you know, just to be in a total silence, alone, without any disturbance. So this all is supported in our library now, and if you walk around, you can find all these spaces. And actually, in mathematics and art connections, this became a very good playground for me and my colleagues. So we have a lot of workshops taking place, connecting mathematics and art and STEAM, and we are welcoming many school children from all around the region. So you can see some of the tools what we are using. So this is Polyuniverse STEAM tool, and another one which can create patterns and different objects. We have also a lot of cognitive games, cognitive development games. You can see one of these like modular building toolkits, or another game about modularity. And when you think about this, I was a keynote speaker of the Qatar Mathematics Day in January. And I was there in Qatar with my son. You can see my son is working in the museum. And it was a big revelation to see this immersive space of the National Museum, that how the national history, how the knowledge is presented in the museum. Everything was floating, everything was in motion, and children could touch, could feel, to be part, to play with, interact with this knowledge collection. So it was very obvious for me that if we want to make education interesting, then here are our competitors. Here is the way how today's children could be captivated by learning. So this also means that we don't need to turn schools into amusement park, but please have a little bit more space to creativity and have a bit more space for freedom of joy. So this is what we are working for. This is my research group, Innovative Learning Environments, it's called. And as you can see, we have a lot of STEM and STEAM projects. These are my colleagues, some of my colleagues. And when you think about innovative learning environment, of course, you can think about the physical environment, but very important, the community basis, the social environment of learning, and also the using of different devices in learning, using technologies in learning. And we are always interested in the learning process. So not just looking at the, sorry? Oh, I thought it's 75 minutes. I thought like 60, less than 60. Okay, but I can keep what I just started the. Okay, so so let's round up then the talk. So I it seems that I sort of have a little bit different block used during the talk. So this you can see engaging classroom, and we will have similar projects here also taking place in the University of Education together with the local participants. So I hope you will enjoy using 4D frame and other tools which are also available in the STEM Center in the university. Augmented reality we will also use. So we will work a lot on how to build the STEAM competencies, and this will connect digital competence framework and European key competencies for lifelong learning. So let me close this talk with another 1.5 minutes extra. I would like to invite you into a Finnish classroom. It will be pedagogically very bad that I cannot explain you what you will see, because you might be shocked, and I will leave you with this shock. But if you will have some questions, maybe later, I will be happy to answer, and let's hope that I can be your therapist for the shock. So this classroom is one corner away from my workplace, from my office. It's led by Jukka Sinnamäki, who is a researcher teacher. I wrote a lot of articles with him. We do research together. And his classroom is not the one and only like this in Finland. What you will see, you can find in Finland, not only in one school, not only in one place, but Jukka is really investing a lot of energy in what you will see. So I still believe that it's a unique example of what's the strength of in primary education. This is a primary school. So let's see. So thank you very much. As you can see, I had a lot to tell to you, but this is not the only moment when I can meet you. I hope that this connection between our universities will allow me to come many times, and you maybe also come to our faculties, and let's continue discussion about these topics. Thank you so much, and sorry about the overtime. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Christoph. I'm so sorry for limiting your times because we have a limited time, very short limited times. Bapak Ibu, alhamdulillah untuk sesi pertama kita sudah melewatinya dan mungkin saya tahu semakin di detik-detik terakhir Bapak Ibu sudah mulai bersuara ribut dan ricuh berarti ya. Artinya banyak pertanyaan. Anda banyak pertanyaan yang akan Bapak Ibu sampaikan kepada Dr. Christoph. Saya yakin itu. Tolong disimpan dulu. Nah, nanti sesi pertanyaannya akan ada di akhir setelah presentasi dari Dr. Ella Nurlaila. Tapi sebelum kita kembali ke sesi yang kedua, izinkan saya untuk meringkas apa yang disampaikan oleh Dr. Christoph. So Christoph, please permit me to resume your course or your lecture. Ada beberapa kata kunci yang dimunculkan oleh Christoph. Salah satunya education is vehicle of social transformations. Artinya pendidikan itu adalah kunci dari perubahan sosial. Dan itu yang menjadi poin utama yang menjadi dasar dari pendidikan di Finlandia. Dan yang kedua adalah Dr. Christoph selalu menyebut beberapa kata kunci, di antaranya adalah joy learning. Artinya pembelajaran yang menyenangkan. Dan di akhir Bapak Ibu bisa lihat dengan videonya, yang kalau menurut kepala kita, logika kita, etika kita, mungkin enggak ya? Nah, gitu ya. Artinya pembelajaran di kelasnya sangat menyenangkan dan selalu mengutamakan kreativitas. Makanya dia sampaikan di akhir kalimatnya itu tentang creative industry. Artinya mulai sekarang kita berikan flexibility learning kepada anak didik kita untuk mereka bisa menjadi lebih kreatif. Itu yang akhirnya menjadi dasar Finlandia memiliki visi learning for 2030, right? Kalau kita 2045, generasi emas, betul nggak? Nah, mereka 2030, nah mereka udah deket banget gitu. Nah, kita seperti apa? Nah, itu yang mungkin menjadi beberapa kunci, selain ada beberapa kunci lagi yang ternyata kenapa menjadi the heaviest city in the world. Tadi kata kuncinya apa? Karena mereka merasa, masyarakat di sana merasa mendapatkan dukungan sosial yang sangat penuh, betul nggak? Sampai the life expectation-nya itu sampai 80 tahun. Lah kita sampai berapa tahunkah kita? Nah, kayaknya 50 tahun juga udah malas gerak ya. Nah, kalau mereka kan seperti kita sampaikan bahwa dia memiliki murid S2 yang usianya 70 tahun. Nggak kebayang ya, berarti muda banget ini aja kan. Nah, gitu ya. Mudah-mudahan what he said we will try to adapt, and then we will also become a heaviest cities in the world. I'm afraid that saya takut nanti orang-orang yang di online marah, kok kenapa city sih, kenapa Bandung doang? Enggak, Bapak Ibu semua ya nasional. I hope in the future Indonesia will be happiest country in the world. Thank you Bapak Ibu, amin. Nah sekarang saya persilahkan kepada Dr. Ella Nurlaila, dan sebelum memulai izinkan saya untuk membacakan CV beliau. Beliau adalah Dr. Ella Nurlaila. Beliau sekarang menjabat sebagai Kepala Departemen Pendidikan Matematika UPI. Kemudian Ketua Prodi Pendidikan Matematika UPI. Kemudian beliau memiliki berbagai macam pengalaman riset khususnya di dalam matematika dan juga STEM. Dan beliau, saya ucapkan terima kasih banyak kepada beliau karena beliau betul-betul mendukung juga dan aktivitas aktif di dalam STEM Education Center UPI. Beliau lulusan doktornya itu dari UPI. Kemudian juga ada beberapa riset topik yang beliau juga sampaikan, yang pernah beliau laksanakan. Dan mungkin hari ini beliau juga akan berbagi tentang bagaimana sih STEM khususnya di matematika di Indonesia, diimplementasikan di Indonesia. Bapak Ibu ini kan banyak sekali, Bu Ella tuh sudah banyak berkarya. Nah sangat banyak, itu saya nggak bisa bacakan satu-satu, nanti habis waktunya ya. Oke, saya persilakan kepada Bu Ella, time is yours.
Ujung juga enggak? Harus pakai ini juga. Nggak punya saku. Terima kasih sudah hadir kali ini juga kepada semua saya diminta sambil duduk gitu karena memang terhadap kelayangan. Okay. Bapak Ibu, setelah kita melihat apa yang dikemukakan di Finland, itu our dream gitu ya, dan kita harus back to basic. Maksudnya saat ini kondisi kita berada di pendidikan Indonesia, dan saya akan menceritakan bagaimana penerapan STEM di karena dari tahun 2020 ya kita mulai mendirikan, terutama juga yang di UPI sendiri kita sudah mendirikan STEM, menyelenggarakan, membentuk tim mata kuliah untuk STEM gitu ya, sehingga ya sudah menyiapkan melatih calon guru-guru untuk menyiapkan dia paham tentang STEM dalam pembelajaran. Jadi kalau ibu-ibu ini semua belum pernah, karena ini generasi yang agak berbeda dengan generasi yang angkatan 2020 gitu ya. Nah, ini setidaknya harus mengikuti apa kegiatan-kegiatan yang seperti ini gitu, karena Bu Irma itu sering sekali menyelenggarakan kegiatan-kegiatan yang seperti ini, bahkan pernah mengikuti di Korea ya, siswa-siswa itu mengikuti di Korea kegiatan Olimpiade, pernah sampai juara 1 juga ya di Korea dengan Prem tadi yang disampaikan oleh Pak Prof. Mr. Christoph. Jadi kalau Bapak Ibu nanti ada kegiatan-kegiatan STEM yang seperti ini, jangan telat untuk ikut gitu, untuk bergabung di kegiatan-kegiatan ini, sehingga pengetahuannya tentang itu gitu tidak lepas gitu ya. Oke. Izin saya duduk. Sebenarnya saya tidak suka kalau ngajar sambil duduk, Bu Irma. Saya share screen. Ini tentu saya tidak akan menceritakan bagaimana Indonesia ya. Tidak akan menceritakan apa yang terjadi di Indonesia, tapi akan menceritakan dasar atau praktik baik yang sudah saya lakukan bersama Bu Irma dan tim gitu ya di ini. Karena ini khusus untuk pembelajaran matematik, seperti kita ketahui STEM itu kan sangat integratif semua gitu, semua mata pelajaran. Sehingga untuk realnya di matematik sendiri, mahasiswa bimbingan saya yang S2, S1 belum banyak yang bergerak di situ gitu. Namun mungkin perlu saya sampaikan beberapa hal gitu ya. Ini ya apa itu STEM mungkin kenapa perlu kita belajar memahami itu STEM, itu ini dari definisinya sendiri untuk mengintegrasikan seluruh sains, teknologi, teknik, dan matematikanya. Itu konsep dasarnya. Saya cepat aja barangkali cuma 20 menit. Kemudian kenapa sih? Mengapa kita perlu STEM dalam pembelajaran? Kita akan menghadapi tahun 2045, walaupun ya mungkin kita nyampe atau juga mungkin tidak ya, tapi sebagai usaha kita yang hidup saat ini untuk memperbaiki generasi yang akan datang, apa salahnya sih gitu ya, kita selalu melakukan perbaikan untuk itu. Karena di tahun 2024-45 itu akan begitu banyak permasalahan, baik di dalam ekonomi, demografi, dan segala sesuatunya, sehingga Indonesia pun mempunyai kebijakan di situ untuk melakukan beberapa hal di situ ya. Nah, sehingga kenapa kita perlu STEM dalam ini untuk memberdayakan individu dengan keterampilan supaya berhasil, berpartisipasi, beradaptasi, dan menghasilkan inovasi-inovasi dalam pembelajaran, dalam real pelaksanaan di dunia nyata gitu. Jadi kita melatih guru-gurunya, karena kita itu di UPI, melatih guru-gurunya supaya dalam pembelajarannya itu mereka menjadi siswa-siswa yang kreatif, cerdas, berpikir kritis. Pokoknya keterampilan abad 21, kecerdasan abad 21 itulah yang diminta gitu, yang diharapkan. Karena saya tahu yang saat ini hadir adalah produk bukan STEM, gitu ya kan? Jadi, aduh, kudu kumaha gitu. Kita mah nggak perlu malu, saya sendiri juga kan gitu. Tapi kita selalu berusaha untuk memperbaiki diri, dan akhirnya kami bersepakat gitu di fakultas menyelenggarakan apa yang dinamakan kelompok mata kuliah. Ada 2 mata kuliah yang memang khusus untuk STEM. Ada 2 mata kuliah gitu. Namun beberapa hal yang perlu saya sampaikan, bahwa peran matematika dalam STEM itu ada insidental. Jadi di sini matematika tidak penting untuk keberhasilan, tetapi berkontribusi pada hasil yang diidentifikasi. Karena matematik selama ini suka susah digabungkan untuk jadi, kalau memunculkan materi konsep murni dengan STEM, saya paling sebagai alat bantu begitu. Jadi tapi beberapa kriteria itu bisa muncul, ya boleh begitu, boleh nanti menjadi menghasilkan memang intinya di sana juga memang sebagai kolaborasi antara matematika dan STEM. Yang sebagai insidental dalam pembuatan robot itu, misalkan robot yang bergerak kayak gitu, itu kita hanya bagaimana sih rodanya, berapa radius rodanya, kecepatannya seperti apa. Tapi kalau sebagai instrumental di sini mengacu pada situasi di mana matematik sangat penting untuk keberhasilan dari aktivitas. Misalnya dalam pembuatan jembatan, ya gitu ya. Katakanlah si Sudun itu dikasih proyek buat jembatan yang lebarnya sekian dengan kekuatan sekian. Nah kan pasti konsep matematiknya harus masuk dong di sana. Ya memang tidak langsung kayak project based learning atau apa yang menghasilkan memahamkan apa sih konsepnya, tapi benar-benar mengintegrasikan matematik, teknologi, sains, dan tekniknya gitu. Sehingga di dalam instrumental itu pada pembuatan jembatan itu kita harus berpikir tentang artnya, bagaimana cantiknya jembatan itu dibuat, bagaimana membuat skala jembatan yang kecil itu kalau diimplementasikan jadi besar gitu ya. Nah itu kan perlu konsep skala gitu. Ya mungkin ini yang sederhana-sederhana untuk siswa SMP gitu barangkali. Tapi tidak menutup kemungkinan STEM itu malah lebih banyak diterapkan di perguruan tinggi untuk membangun konsep matematik. Gitu. Kemudian peran matematik dalam pendidikan STEM itu menurut Yang itu dan Tambunan, saya mendapat artikel itu dapat matematik dapat membuat masalah STEM dapat diselesaikan. Tanpa matematik bagaimana coba fisika nggak bakalan bisa bergerak juga, biologi juga. Walaupun orang biologi kadang-kadang menghindari matematik, dan tapi ketemu juga matematik. matematik ya. Gitu kan? Dukungan matematik mendukung disiplin STEM lainnya. Dapat dimodelkan. Matematik dapat membuat masalah STEM dapat dimodelkan menjadi ada modelnya gitu ya. Kemudian nah terutama dalam hal ini yang dapat dimodelkan itu ini nantinya akan terlihatlah ada pemodelan dalam matematik itu kan ada ilmu model pemodelan gitu. Kemudian dapat dipikirkan matematik dapat membuat tugas STEM dapat dipikirkan dengan cara matematis. Jadi kita akan melatih siswa itu untuk mereka bisa berpikir tentang aplikasi matematik dengan melalui STEM. 3 orientasi guru dalam pembelajaran STEM pada matematik. Jadi cara berpikir guru gitu ya yang dalam pelaksanaan matematik itu. Ada periferal yaitu matematik sebagai disiplin kecil dalam pendidikan STEM yang memainkan peran yang lemah untuk STEM, yaitu lebih cenderung si matematik itu sebagai alat bantu. Itu peran periferal. Kemudian yang kedua, sebagai intinya, di situ dengan STEM muncul konsep baru atau pemahaman konsep, gitu ya. Jadi si guru teh membuat tugas yang diharapkan siswa bisa membangun konsep di situ. Nah itu disebut sebagai inti. Dan ada timbal balik. Kedudukan STEM dan matematik sama. Saya kenapa sih saya mengambilkan secangkir teh, menampilkan secangkir teh? 3 konsep ini ada kaitannya dengan teh itu. Dalam konteks periferal yang hanya STEM itu bergerak hanya sebagai bagiannya aja gitu. Dia berperan seperti gula dalam air teh. Mau pakai gula atau tidak bisa jalan gitu. Itu periferal. Kalau dalam inti itu sebagai tehnya. Tidak akan jadi teh kalau tidak ada teh gitu. Tidak akan jadi air teh kalau tidak ada tehnya. Sementara dalam konteks timbal balik itu air itu dalam STEM-nya dan teh adalah matematikanya. Saya tampilkan secangkir teh, mau secangkir teh sekarang? Ada di luar punya. Tapi saya jadi aus juga. Bentar, saya mohon izin. Kemudian kita punya nilai STEM dalam pembelajaran matematik. Tadi pembelajaran matematik dalam STEM. Sekarang nilai STEM dalam pembelajaran matematik sebagai penerapannya, STEM dapat membuat matematik dapat diterapkan. Jadi si siswa teh, oh ternyata konsep ini teh ada penerapannya. Selama ini kan hanya rumus, konsep yang kayak gitulah sehingga agak kering lah dalam pemikiran siswa. Yang kedua, terintegrasi. STEM dapat membuat matematika terintegrasi dengan disiplin ilmu lain, gitu ya. Oh, yaitu tergabung dengan fisika, gabung dengan biologi, ternyata digunakan di sana. Juga STEM dapat membuat matematik menarik. Nah, ada beberapa berpendapat saya tidak mau matematik itu karena STEM itu sudah menarik gitu. Sehingga tidak mau, jarang mau yang inti tadi. Karena takut STEM-nya dianggap jadi menyusahkan karena muncul matematik yang jadi utama gitu. Tapi ya kita harus mencoba tetap ke sana. Ya karena kita guru matematik. Bu Irma itu guru fisika gitu. Jadi benar gitu. Performa STEM dapat membuat matematik dapat dicapai gitu ya. Oh, ternyata gitu. Kemudian kegunaannya STEM dapat membuat matematik bermanfaat dengan STEM itu. Ya tadi sama dengan penerapannya. Dan implementasinya STEM dapat membuat matematika mudah untuk diajarkan. Harusnya begitu. Jadi sebenarnya konsep-konsep yang dalam yang sudah ada itu bisa dimanfaatkan oleh Bapak Ibu untuk membawa mahasiswa ke lingkungan STEM gitu. Ya kayak barangkali nanti sebelum ke sana implementasi STEM dalam pembelajaran matematik itu ada mengintegrasikan STEM melalui desain tekniknya. Jadi ada artnya lah di situ juga. Ada mengintegrasikan STEM melalui pemodelan matematiknya, muncul model matematiknya nanti, dan ada mengintegrasikan STEM melalui matematika dan teknologi. Nah, saya di ada beberapa contoh dari kajian-kajian itu, yang mana sih yang pas untuk contoh-contoh ini? Kalau menyimak harusnya bisa menjawab, gitu ya. Menyimak kan? Oke. Menyimak. Oke. Nah, sekarang saya memberikan contoh STEM hasil penelitian mahasiswa saya, Han ini di dalam di dalam pembelajaran. Ini pembelajaran trigonometri. Alfa, sin alfa, cos alfa, tangen alfa. Kan biasanya dihafalkan gitu ya. Apa tuh sisi miring, persisi tegak, sisi pinggir kayak gitulah. Sisi miring padahal kalau segitiganya dimiringkan semua jadi miring loh. Jadi harus pas banget apa sih sisi miring itu gitu ya. Oke, ini dalam penelitian dia memberikan tugas kepada mahasiswa setelah konsep sin alfa cos alfa. Ini dia bertanya, bagaimana sih mengukur tiang bendera? Itu kan biasa sih sebenarnya, mengukur tiang bendera atau gedung tanpa mengukur pengukuran langsung gitu. Biasanya kan dengan cara begini dijelaskan ya. Nah, tapi dalam konteks ini dia merumuskan, si siswa itu melakukan alat ukurnya, membuat alat ukurnya dulu, yaitu klinometernya gitu. Dengan klinometernya nanti proses pembelajaran tentang SEM-nya juga berlaku dan bisa dianalisis gitu kan, ada teknologinya, ada artnya bagaimana ketika dia membuat klinometer itu, ada yang bisa berfungsi, ada yang enggak kan itu. Akhirnya kemampuan di matematiknya juga, pengukuran pembuatan sudut segala macam itu jadi masuk di STEM-nya. Ini hasilnya ada klinometer yang dihasilkan oleh sekian kelompok. Ini dilakukan pada masa dari dan dihasilkan seperti itu, kemudian diterapkan dalam pembelajarannya, siswanya disuruh mengukur gitu ya, dan hasilnya mulailah ada yang menggunakan sinus, ada yang menggunakan tangen kayak gitu, untuk menerapkan konteks yang tadi. Itu hasil contoh pembelajaran STEM di persekolahan. Nah, apa yang terjadi di kami di perguruan tinggi pada saat itu gitu, pada saat itu artinya kami membentuk mata kuliah MSTR namanya. MSTR itu bahasa Indonesianya dari STEM. STEM-nya kan Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. Kita terjemahkan menjadi MSTR, Matematik, Science, Teknologi, Rekayasa. Ada 2 mata kuliah di semester itu dalam 1 tahun, ada MSTR dan AMSTR. Ini memang membekali mahasiswa calon guru, untuk membekali calon guru. Nah, tim pengembangnya ada saya di situ. Alhamdulillah saya diajak Bu Irma, Bu Ida, ada Bu Prof Ida, ada Prof Ari, ada Bu Dr. Sri Anggraini. Pokoknya tim ini dibentuk oleh seluruh prodi yang ada di FMIPA. 11 prodi ada di FMIPA itu. Seluruh prodi itu ada pendidikan matematik, biologi, pendidikan biologi, itu semua bergabung dalam tim itu untuk membangun mata kuliah MSTR. Kita punya tujuan mata kuliah ini, kompetensi yang dibekalkan pada mata kuliah itu untuk mengembangkan literasi matematis, sains, teknologi, dan rekayasa. Kemampuan memecahkan masalah yang ada di sekitar secara kritis, kreatif, integratif, multidisipliner, berkolaborasi dengan tim, berkomunikasi secara aktif dan efektif. Jadi semua keinginan yang akan terjadi di abad 21 atau zaman sekarang itu kita bekalkan ke mereka melalui mata kuliah STEM untuk untuk menyelesaikan permasalahan sosial, ekonomi, dan lingkungan dalam rangka mewujudkan pendidikan pembangunan berkelanjutan yang tadi ESD dan SDGs. Mata kuliah ini keren sebenarnya mata kuliahnya. Mata kuliahnya ada di MSTR pertama, mata kuliah Sains, Teknologi, dan Rekayasa. Mata kuliah di semester 2-nya, ini semester mahasiswa untuk semester 1. namanya aplikasi matematik, sains, teknologi, dan rekayasa. Jadi sebenarnya itu juga sih, tapi tidak boleh dua mata kuliah itu ada dalam nama yang sama. Dan semuanya juga aplikasi, toh MSTR pertama dan yang kedua itu, tapi kita bedakan namanya dengan kode mata kuliah yang berbeda. Temanya ada energi, pokoknya tentang lingkungan aja. Energi, material terbarukan, makanan, transformasi, dan lingkungan. Materinya, seperti apa ya, kebayang ke orang matematik itu semua. Metode pelajarannya, proses saintifik, problem based learning, dan project based learning. Kebanyakan project based learning. Project based learning. Gimana pelaksanaannya? Jumlah kelas ada 26 kelas. Semua mahasiswa tingkat 1 dari seluruh program studi digabungkan dan dibentuk kelompok-kelompok. Dari dalam setiap kelas itu ada matematiknya, ada ilkomnya, ada biologinya, ada kimia, fisika. Pokoknya dalam kelas itu gabung semua. Dan dosennya, satu dosen itu, kelas itu minimal ada program studinya dalam satu kelas itu. Jadi ada dosen fisika, kimia, biologi. Kalau mau mencukupi itu, dalam satu kelas itu dosen kimia, fisika, biologi. Gitu. Kemudian ada 26 kelas. Fakultas memberi kebijakan, memberikan izin. Hari Senin itu adalah hari STEM. Dari jam 7 sampai 9.30 kuliahnya, berarti 13 kelas. Dengan satu kelas itu rata-rata 3 atau 4 dosen. Kemudian jam 9.30 sampai jam 12 itu periode kedua. 26 kelas itu dibagi 2 shift. Berapa jumlah mahasiswanya? Rata-rata di 760 yang ikut STEM. Ya, jadinya mahasiswa dari 11 program studi di FMIPA, jumlah mahasiswa setiap kelas itu 29 sampai 30, dibagi dalam kelompok-kelompok kecil, dan kelompok kecil itu semuanya ada orang-orang gabung, tidak matematik aja, fisika aja, kimia aja, enggak. Tapi gabung semuanya. Bisa dipahami ya? Nah, jadi bisa menerapkan itu begitu bisa. Kemudian didampingi oleh 2 atau 3 atau 4 dosen yang berasal dari program studi yang berbeda. Jumlah dosen yang terlibat itu hampir 61 orang untuk kegiatannya. Jadi 61 sampai gitu ya. Kita sampai bergerak cepat saat itu untuk menyusun bahan ajarnya. Ada bahan ajarnya yang modul-modul ini ya kami dan leadnya adalah Bu Ida dengan Prof. Arif waktu itu. Menghasilkan bahan-bahan ajar yang seperti itu. Ada sekian bahan ajarnya, ada LKM-nya, ada tayangan videonya, pokoknya semuanya lengkap. Dan seluruh guru, dosen yang akan mengajar MSR itu, kita mengadakan dulu semacam workshop untuk penyamaan persepsi untuk ngajar di STEM itu. Karena saat itu STEM yang benar-benar kita sendiri masih bisa jadi kontroversi, apa sih STEM gitu kan. Ya, jadi itu pelaksanaannya. Lembar kerjanya ada identifikasi masalah, rencana penyelesaian masalah, mengkonstruksi penyelesaian masalah, dan uji dan desain ulang. Itu kemudian ada penilaiannya. Nah, oke. Ini jadi ada lembar penilaian. Penilaian itu penilaian sejawat oleh teman-temannya. Jangan-jangan di kelas yang kerja-kerja, yang enggak. Nah, untuk mengantisipasi itu ada penilaian sejawat supaya semuanya bisa bekerja sama gitu ya. Kemudian ada lembar kerja itu dikerjakan atau tidak. Setiap pertemuan itu tidak ada materi yang hari ini adalah fisika, kimia, enggak. Project. Di akhirnya dia harus menghasilkan suatu produk yang mungkin makalah, artikel, itu wajib ya, makalah artikel itu wajib di belakangnya. Kalau dia melakukan suatu produk, harus divideokan yang bisa dinilai oleh orang lain. Akhirnya jadi diuploadnya di YouTube, dinilai, di-like oleh orang-orang yang memang memerlukan itu. Gitu ya. Produk akhirnya, dan ada beberapa yang akhirnya menghasilkan kekayaan intelektual. Kemudian ini produk-produk yang dihasilkannya Ada dari satu kelas itu sampai ada yang 21. Ada buku, ada jurnal nasional, karena mahasiswa juga di setiap laporan, setiap aktivitasnya itu diminta untuk menulis dalam jurnal. Yang kalau direview dan dibimbing dengan benar, akhirnya bisa publish gitu. Itu jadi mereka sudah ditantang dari semenjak tingkat pertama untuk ya menurut logika anak mahasiswa pada tahun pertama gitu. Bisa apa gitu, tapi ternyata hasilnya luar biasa. Sangat luar biasa gitu. Itu kemudian ini salah satu contoh produk mahasiswa dalam bentuk video yang menggunakan Arduino. Jadi kita menantang. Jadi ini termasuk ke dalam energi terbarukan. Dasarnya energi terbarukan. Jadi kami meminta top tahu bahasa Sunda ya, sudah keluar bahasa Sunda. Silakan dari produk ini Anda mau bikin apa dengan kreativitas masing-masing kelompok dan hasilnya seperti ini. Salah satu contoh adalah seperti ini. Mungkin saya stop share dulu dari sini. Rumah Pintar namanya, hasilkan oleh mahasiswa kita.
Ada teman-teman, aku lagi mikirin nih kalau kita punya rumah yang serba otomatis, dari pintu, tirai, pagar kita buka dengan hanya menggunakan smartphone. Bagaimana ya caranya? Iya, tapi aku bingung caranya gimana.
Gak usah bingung, kita kan punya Arduino. Kalian penasaran kan? Tonton aja videonya. Sampai selesai. Yuk.
Eits, lupa, belum kenalan kita. Kalian mau tahu nggak kita siapa aja?
Wah, pasti penasaran kan siapa aja kami? Inilah kelompok kami, kelompok 2. Anggi Lestari, Anissa Septia Gestina, Azka Amalia, Indah Al-Asai, Muhammad Yendra Priyambada, dan Tri Utomo Budi. Oke teman-teman, mari kita lanjut ke latar belakang masalah. Latar belakang masalah dari kelompok kami terjadi karena manusia sering melupakan aktivitas yang kecil tetapi bermakna karena faktor kesibukan, seperti mematikan lampu, sehingga lampu menyala sepanjang hari. Itu pasti akan menyebabkan pemborosan listrik kan ya? Kemudian, manusia pun sering lupa untuk membuka tirai di pagi hari, sehingga udara segar di pagi hari dan cahaya matahari tidak bisa masuk ke dalam ruangan, dan itu akan sangat berpengaruh kepada kesehatan. Dan terkadang, manusia pun sering mengalami kesulitan dalam membuka garasi mobil, terutama ketika terjadi hujan deras, sehingga dia harus meminta bantuan orang lain untuk membukakan pintu garasinya. Dari permasalahan-permasalahan tersebut, kelompok kami membuat sebuah proyek yang bernama Smart Home atau Rumah Pintar berbasis Arduino dengan aplikasi smartphone. Di mana dengan aplikasi smartphone ini, kita bisa mengendalikan tirai, lampu, garasi, dan pintu secara otomatis. Sehingga kita bisa mengefisiensikan penggunaan listrik dan kita bisa mempermudah aktivitas manusia di kehidupan sehari-hari. Alat dan bahan yang digunakan dalam proyek ini yaitu Arduino Uno, Bluetooth modul, servo motor, kabel jumper, lampu LED, seperangkat miniatur rumah. Kemudian, bagaimana ya cara menyusun rangkaiannya? Mari kita lihat bersama-sama. Untuk menambah pemahaman teman-teman mengenai cara merangkai, ini adalah ilustrasi rangkaiannya. Kemudian, ini adalah kode program yang digunakan. Program di IDE Arduino, dan program lampu, program pintu, program garasi, dan program tirai. Kemudian, pasti teman-teman penasaran kan bagaimana hasil ujinya? Mari kita lihat bersama-sama. Ini adalah hasil uji dari tirai otomatis. Ketika kita menekan hordeng buka, maka tirai akan terbuka, dan hordeng tutup, maka tirai akan tertutup. Dan ini adalah hasil pengujian dari pintu otomatis. Selanjutnya, hasil pengujian dari garasi otomatis. Dan yang terakhir, hasil pengujian dari lampu otomatis. Oke teman-teman, sekian dari kelompok kami. Terima kasih telah menonton video ini, dan sampai jumpa di lain kesempatan.
Bagian mana yang komputernya teknisnya itu kan sudah momennya punya, dan tentunya mahasiswa tidak belajarnya. Ya tentu kalau tadi konsep-konsep inti katakanlah di konstruksi atau dibangun lewat itu ada hal yang memang pikirkan. Tapi untuk misalkan saya pernah dan mahasiswa yang mau terkait dengan penyebaran kan dia perlu dari perlu dari teknologi, ilmu komputer segala macam. Nah itu juga tanpa sadar sebenarnya dan hasilnya adalah ilmu konsep matematik tentang modelnya. Kemudian adalah pemodelan matematik berarti. Ya, tapi itu memang. Kemudian ada yang model untuk penyebaran hoax. Jika ada model matematik yang datang dari lingkungan nah, itu tentu akan matematik tingginya ya, jadi di dalam itu barangkali yang bisa saya sampaikan. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum.
Oke, baik. Terima kasih Bu Dr. Ella Nurlela. Terima kasih banyak atas apa yang sudah dipaparkan dan disampaikan terkait dengan implementasi yang sudah dikembangkan di jurusan kami di sini Fakultas FMIPA terkait dengan STEM. Nah, jadi Bapak Ibu mungkin jadi terpikirkan ya, kenapa dulu zaman saya kuliah nggak ada gitu ya? Mau kuliah lagi? Boleh, silahkan masuk lagi dengan jenjang yang lebih tinggi ya. Oke, baik. Saya izin menyampaikan dan meringkas apa yang sudah Bu Ella sampaikan hari ini, di mana beliau menyampaikan tentang peranan matematika di dalam STEM, di mana ada dua pilar. Yang pertama adalah sebagai insidental juga instrumental. Dan tujuan tugas guru di dalam proses pembelajaran adalah membangun konsep siswa. Ini yang sangat penting. Nah, di sini beliau menyampaikan bahwa STEM dapat membuat matematika menjadi bermanfaat dan mudah dipahami. Nah, jadi nanti mudah-mudahan ke depannya nggak ada lagi siswa yang I hate math. Biasanya I hate fisik, memang itu mah dari sampai sekarang juga itu tantangan ya. Tapi I hate matematika juga banyak ya. Banyak yang takut kan belajar matematika siswa-siswanya. Nah, mungkin mudah-mudahan STEM ini bisa membuat siswa jauh lebih menyenangi matematika. Baik Bapak Ibu, seperti yang saya janjikan hari ini adalah sesi ini selanjutnya sesi tanya jawab. Silahkan yang mau bertanya. 1, 2, 3, wow banyak. Yang di online silahkan admin, silahkan coba. Saya mau coba sesi pertama 3 dulu ya Bapak Ibu. Sesi pertama ada Bapak yang di depan, Bapak yang di depan lagi, satu lagi, Ibu yang di belakang. Silahkan Bu maju ke depan, ambil mic-nya. Silahkan bertanya terkait dengan, atau Pak Atif mungkin bisa tolong, ini dulu Pak, yang depan dulu, nanti oke. Silahkan. Menghadap ke sana, kamera ada di sebelah sana.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Perkenalkan nama saya Yasir Hasbi, saya dari SMA Tunus Unggul Srim. Saya pertama mau mengucapkan terima kasih dulu kepada Bu Ella, pada dosen saya dulu. Juga saya mau terima kasih, I want to say thank you to Mr. Christoph. Yeah. In this opportunity, I want to ask something to you about education in Finland. As I know and as we know, we heard about the curriculum in the Finland is the best curriculum in the world. I think back to Indonesia, that Indonesia is known by the world is the most beautiful country in the world. We have the beautiful beach, beautiful ocean, and many more. But as Indonesian people, also, we know that Indonesia have a lot of problems with the beautiful land. We have trash in the ocean, we have flood, we have forest fire, and many more. Now, I want to ask to you about the problem in education in Finland. Is there any problem in education in Finland? Because I see in the university it's so beautiful with maybe no problem in that. Is that true? Maybe. Is there any problem that you can share with us? Also with the solution, maybe. Okay. That's the question for me.
Okay, thank you. And then now let's move to the second question first.
I try to remember.
I will remind you. I will note it. I note it.
Perkenalkan, nama saya Ikuna dari SMP Negeri 1 Ciparai. Mungkin saya akan bertanya kepada dua narasumber, Dr. Christoph and Miss Ella. I want to ask about how your opinion about AI and STEM makes students to increase critical thinking, but AI in my school, mungkin di sekolah saya AI mempengaruhi siswa itu menjadi malas, critical thinking-nya terhambat karena dia pengennya ya instan. Tadi dia mengandalkan AI untuk bekerja, sedangkan critical thinking-nya itu dia berhenti ketika dia sebagai user untuk AI tersebut. Ini saya minta pandangan dari Dr. Christoph dan Dr. Ella terkait hal tersebut. Terima kasih.
Okay, I will translate it for you later after the third questions. Okay, Ibu boleh.
Hello, my name is Justina Maulina. I'm from Senior High School 3 or SMA 3 Purworejo, Central Java.
Jauh sekali loh Ibu ini. Datang-datang, terima kasih Ibu from Purworejo.
It's around 2 hours by car from Yogyakarta.
Okay. Oh, okay. Nice
Okay,
to know.
I want to ask Mr. Christoph about an issue actually. Other teacher in my
About the
work,
teacher.
older teacher in my
Older?
workplace, older teacher
Older.
in my workplace, think that changes of education system is younger matter. So they want explore about like STEM, etc. So what can we do as a younger teacher to give understanding that agent of change of education is not about a younger one, but both younger and older teachers should do. And then the second question is for Dr. Ella. Sebagaimana STEM biasanya dilaksanakan dengan project-based learning, tentu saja itu membutuhkan waktu yang lebih lama. Sedangkan saat ini kita mulai dengan IKM, di mana di situ ada P5 atau proyek penguatan profil pelajar Pancasila, sehingga pembelajaran kita itu waktunya sedikit lebih pendek, karena dalam 1 tahun itu ada waktu khusus untuk proyek P5. Bagaimana kita tetap bisa melaksanakan PJBL, sedangkan tuntutan kita itu lebih banyak, karena di kelas 10 sendiri, materi matematika wajib dan materi matematika peminatan itu menjadi satu waktu dengan waktu yang lebih sempit. Ya, terima kasih.
Okay, thank you. The 3 questions is delivered. So I would like to try to remind you again about the question. So the first question is about, is there any problems in education system in Finland? And then the second questions, the opinion about artificial intelligences, that he said that in his school, AI is make students don't want to think creatively and critically. They only just use it instantly. So what is your opinion, and also Bu Ella opinion? And then the third question is related to the teachers, older teachers' perception. So, time is yours.
Okay, so thanks a lot for all the questions, because all were really relevant and very much hit the point. And this is what I try to emphasize from the beginning of my talk, that Finland is not a country of perfect people and perfect systems, but maybe a little bit more flexible system to respond to the needs than some other systems which are more rigid. And about the problems, actually, this is what we can learn the most, I think, that how countries deal with the problems. And as I told also, that we have children and young adults like in every country. So also in our school there is bullying, there is also neurodiversity as a new phenomenon, and also I mentioned that to maintain inclusive education until the year 18 without having dropout from the system, that's also very challenging. And I can also tell you a very recent phenomenon that we can see also. There was a rise of the PISA results, but now, as we talk in climate change about the meltdown of the Arctic icebergs, now there is also a little bit meltdown of the PISA results. So PISA results are falling down in Finland, and for example, a country like Estonia, very small country next to Finland, is now outscoring Finland in PISA. Of course, now what politicians say, oh, PISA is not that important. Of course, Finland also told before that we are not learning for PISA, so we have no education system to prepare for the PISA test. We are not interested to learn for some tests. However, what we can see from PISA result, and is very alarming, that Finland education for all philosophy is also for having a small difference between the highest performer and the lower performer students. That used to be the situation, that not too big gap between these two groups, because if there is too big gap, then it means that this education for all situation is not anymore working out. So now we have seen in the latest PISA results in connection with mathematics, this appeared. Now there is a gap between the highest performer, lower performer. There is no connection anymore between these two groups. And there is one thing even worse, that we can also see that highest performance social status is high, lowest performance social status background, family background is low. So we can see the segregation process started. Of course, we are very far from those situations when this is really a huge social problem, but we have seen the tendency appeared, and now we need to do something. I don't know what we will do exactly, but we have a new curriculum coming. Do you want to respond also to this part in Indonesia? Yes. Then about artificial intelligence. So I hope, yes, artificial intelligence. This is a very good question too. I think artificial intelligence require more critical thinking than any time before, because so the part of the system is the black box, right? So there is big data, also big computational capacity, and we can't know that how a result, an output is made by the artificial intelligence, especially when we are connecting also artificial intelligence systems. It's not only anymore just one algorithm, one mechanism, but we have many of these connected. We are talking about connecting black boxes, not only one, but many black boxes are connected. So we have no idea that how one, we can't have any control actually how an output is generated, because it's that high level of complexity. So we need to have a lot of mechanisms to check the validity of the output from different perspectives, because one thing can be very logical, one thing can be very reasonable, but still very inappropriate in our human culture. So this is the challenge what we are facing with. However, also the challenge when political decision making is using artificial intelligence, because big data is available, and political decision making to how to drive a society, this is also like artificial intelligence problem. But how we can combine this with our everyday life, our culture, and also many things what are not reasonable in our life. It's not making sense from the point of view of the mechanism. So this is also that we don't want to be prisoners of reason. We don't want to live in a logic prison, right? We want to live in a good society. We want to live in a creative society. However, artificial intelligence can be also a very wonderful creative tool. And we see it also that how to use it as a creative tool. So maybe more research, more understanding in this direction will be very much needed.
Okay. And then the third question, okay, the third, nanti dulu. Ya kan, yang kedua ditanya untuk Ibu dan juga Bapak. Okay, next letter. So the third question for Dr. Christoph too, about the older teacher perceptions. They thought that the younger generation is the one who have take responsibility to change as an agent of change.
This phenomenon also exists in Finland, and I think everywhere around the world. Our lifelong learning, continuous teacher development, and teachers who are interested to to develop, who has the intrinsic motivation to develop, and also the extrinsic motivation. I think that is very important. So that both to be supported by the system, to be rewarded by the system, but also have the self-rewarding possibilities is very important in that change. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your answer, Dr. Christoph. And then please, Dr. Ella, to answer some questions that delivered also for you.
Terima kasih Bu. Saya menjawab pertanyaan Pak Lukman terkait dengan AI ya, artificial intelligence. Dulu atau kemarin-kemarin kita sangat khawatir dengan menyebarnya HP atau pokoknya begitu mudahnya teknologi ini berkembang kan, begitu cepatnya gitu. Kita sempat takut dengan mahasiswa menggunakan smartphone-nya kayak gitu. Nah, artificial intelligence ini menjadi suatu produk teknologi yang terbaru barangkali. Di samping yang sekarang ada STEM-nya. Nah, barangkali di sana peran kita sebagai guru, bagaimana kita bisa memanfaatkan AI itu dikombinasikan dengan produk-produk yang lain, model-model pembelajaran yang lain, strategi pembelajaran yang lain, sehingga mereka sendiri tidak seperti yang dikhawatirkan oleh Pak Lukman barangkali. Misalkan jadi males, tapi kan tadi dijelaskan juga oleh Christoph, begitu AI itu dapat mendorong kemampuan berpikir kritis, kreatif. Nah, kita sebagai guru berarti harus maju lebih ke depan, menguasai AI-nya, supaya kita bisa memanfaatkan AI itu tidak menjadi yang dikhawatirkan. Itu saja. Karena kalau kita ingin menolak itu nggak bisa. Kita nggak bisa. Dunia ini, apalagi setelah COVID ini, loncatan teknologi itu luar biasa. Gitu. Dan asalnya kita kan nggak kebayang ya bisa seperti ini. 27 di sini, 500 di luar sana gitu untuk melakukan seminar itu paling kelasnya yang diperbanyak atau menggunakan telekonferensi yang telekonferensi masih di tempat yang sama. Sekarang ini segala sesuatu bisa memungkinkan. Bahkan mungkin next semester depan itu saya akan minta Pak Dr. Christoph itu untuk memberikan kuliah dari Finland untuk mahasiswa kita gitu.
Ya, kuliah lagi
makanya kuliah lagi. Akan ada kegiatan-kegiatan yang seperti ini yang tidak pernah kita bayangkan sebelumnya, barangkali akan ada seperti ini. Jadi bijak barangkali kita tinggal seperti itu. Dan ini jawaban buat Bu Justin juga. Kalau menurut saya tidak, karena kurikulum kita berbeda dengan kurikulum Finland yang fleksibel gitu, sangat fleksibel. Kalau kita sudah lihat bagian ini harus mengerjakan yang ini berapa jam, segala sesuatu itu udah dipatok gitu, harus begitu, sehingga ruang kita untuk melakukan elaborasi dengan yang project seperti itu adalah agak susah sebenarnya. Tapi tinggal pilih di antara materi-materi itu mana yang memungkinkan menghasilkan bisa dilaksanakan dengan project based learning, dengan tugas-tugas, dengan memanfaatkan teori. Jadi kita harus tidak karena ya tuntutan pemerintah, tuntutan yang harus dicapai kita harus seperti. Tapi waktu pengembangan diri mahasiswa-siswa kita juga harus difasilitasi. Jadi kita tinggal ini tidak selalu harus semua dalam satu semester itu dengan enggak juga gitu, karena enggak mungkin juga. Sementara kan project based learning itu membuat project mereka. Ya katakanlah 3 minggu ke depan saya akan memberikan materi ini. Dirancang projectnya dari hari ini. Berikan sehingga mahasiswa kita atau siswa kita bisa melakukannya, bisa melakukan hasil project. Itu barangkali jawaban untuk 2 pertanyaan. Terima kasih.
Baik, terima kasih. Nah, kita masuk ke sesi kedua. Silahkan satu dari depan-depan semua. Satu Ibu yang pertama, kemudian Bapak yang kedua, Bapak yang ketiga. Silahkan. Baik, namun sebelumnya saya juga mau memberikan ada beberapa pertanyaan dari online ya Bapak Ibu, tapi nanti mungkin setelah pertanyaan dari Bapak Ibu yang ada di offline.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Honorable Mr. Benifesi and Dr. Ella. Greeting for you from Miss Farida Nur Hasana.
Thank you so much.
I'm your student.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Okay.
I'm just shared news from her. Yes. Right moment.
So I have to deliver for you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. There are two questions for Mr. Benifesi. The first question is there any fellowship program or scholarship program for us as an Indonesian math teacher to visit Finland?
Yes.
To learn Finnish education, maybe. And the second question is, what is the most important thing so that Finnish education system become the best education system in the world? Maybe in your mind in just one sentence.
Okay. So
Okay.
I can give two. Sorry.
The third questions
Oh,
for
I'm sorry. Yeah, I did not recognize. Yeah.
Dokter, saya pernah memberikan tugas kepada siswa saya untuk membuat board game. Kemudian apa namanya? Mereka akhirnya membuat sebuah board game. Lalu di dalamnya ada permainan-permainan dan kemudian untuk bisa memainkannya mereka harus menyekan barcode yang ada di papan permainan itu. Apakah itu termasuk bagian dari STEM? Kalaupun tidak, kalaupun belum sempurna, apa yang harus kami lakukan sebagai guru atau tugas tambahan apa sehingga proyek seperti itu bisa dikatakan sebagai STEM? Terima kasih. Thank you very much. Thanks for advance.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Ibu. And then we will move to the second question
Okay.
first. Okay. Atau you want to answer it one by one?
Yeah,
Up to you.
very quickly.
Oh, very quickly,
So,
okay.
there is a scholarship program also, I think, from the part of Indonesia to Finland. And also it's worth to check Finnish opportunities, but the good news that all the level of education is free. So higher education, there is no tuition fee, and we have international education program in the university master's program, for example, or bachelor too. So you are welcome, and also you all, and I'm happy to host you there and support you when you come. And sorry. Well, I think Indonesian scholarships exist to study abroad, so you must.
Ada sama di LPDP.
And maybe we will be able to launch a project between UPI, my university, where we can fund, for example, doctoral studies and master studies, a few places. So this is among our goal. And what was second? Why is Finland the best?
One
system?
sentence.
Yeah. Well, I think because the high quality education provided for all. So I think that's the key. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Please give applause for him. Okay, so let's move to the next question. Bu Ella mau jawab juga? Boleh, silahkan. Ada satu lagi tadi yang buat Bu Ella, atau mau nanti di akhir? Di akhir, oke, sip. Now, so next question, Bapak, silahkan.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Maybe mungkin saya paling jauh ya, Bu ya. Saya ke sini mungkin juga sebagai duta supporter biar terjadi persaudaraan antara Aremania dan Bobotoh.
Oh, atas Surabaya.
Iya. Because I'm from Malang.
Dari Malang.
Ya.
Oh.
Dan juga dari teman satu yang dari Malang.
Oh, ada dari Malang.
Iya juga kami dari Malang sebagai duta supporter ya.
Duta support, silakan Pak.
My question is for Dr. Benifesi, and I'm very surprised that you was born at 17 August.
17 August, yes.
17 August, yeah.
17 August.
Please come to Indonesia again, sir, in August month, because there will be many benefits in August. In August, like me, my name is Agus, so in August month I will get benefit because you was born.
You will have special.
Yes,
special our nation because you are born in the same time with our Independence Day.
Yes. So there is Indonesian blood in your blood. because you part give please give us suggest especially for us as teacher how to start STEM education in very early in school. So what must we do or what must we need?
In primary school or in secondary
I'm in
school?
secondary school.
Secondary school.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 And the second question for Dr. Ella, mohon maaf, mungkin kami, apakah bisa Bu ya untuk mengakses berbagai sumber seperti buku-buku yang tentang pendidikan yang STEM tadi yang ada di UB untuk sumber belajar kami? Itu mungkin permohonan kami, Bu. Terima kasih.
Okay. So please, you
yes.
can ask.
So thanks a lot for the invitation. I would be really glad to celebrate Independence Day and birthday combined one day here. So that would be fantastic. I'm looking forward to that. And um, for the starting of STEM and STEAM, so we really believe in small steps. So Finland is not like making a big leap and just jumping to the top immediately, but we want to take small steps, very little steps. That's also very important for your students, that they understand what's happening, they can reflect, they have time to come into the situation. But also for you as a teacher, that you not get afraid that, oh, there is so many things to do, or there is too big obstacles here, but take step by step. So I would suggest for you to focus first, not the subject matter. I say it a bit surprisingly, maybe, but social and emotional learning. That's the basis of everything. If your students get the trust in you, if they believe that you are interested in their ideas, and you want to help them to realize their own dream, then they will learn from you. And also then this journey will be a very rewarding journey. So I would like to ask or suggest that not go to the classroom with ready answers, but go with good questions, and always ask your students' opinion, that what do they know already about the topic, because many times they know already a lot more than you can maybe answer. Maybe they know information what you can't answer as a teacher, but then starts learning when you're learning together with them, and you become explorers and you make discoveries in the learning process. This requires a lot of time, and you have the curriculum pressure. You have the very strong pressure that you need to keep in time with the curriculum. Don't get stressed. You just go with the curriculum, do what you need, but please spend a little time to stop some moments, maybe just one day, maybe just one class. You stop, and then you open it up for your students and start to do some engaging. So a small step, what is possible in your realm, and not to look that what is impossible or what is too challenging or why I can't. Look that why I can.
Okay, thank you, Christoph. That's a wonderful sentence. So we should wider our mindset about how we deliver it to the subject. So Christoph say, Bapak Christoph that bilang, Bapak Christoph say that we have to move not think about the subject, ya. Jadi kita mulainya tidak memikirkan subjeknya apa dulu, tapi let's start with the social issues. Jadi mulai dari social issues ya Bapak ya. Oke, mudah-mudahan menjawab ya Pak pertanyaannya. Oke, silakan the last one from offline. Oh, boleh. Silakan Bu Ella.
ketemu orang matematik atau ini pertanyaannya pernah memberi tugas terkait dengan games gitu. Pertanyaan saya gamesnya game aspek apa dulu gitu? Gamesnya game apa dulu gitu? Apakah sembarang games? Kan kita khawatir juga kalau sembarang games ya. Nah, enggak kan yang terkait dengan materi matematik, IPA atau segala macam. Ya di situ kalau memang sudah terkait dengan konteksnya, memang tidak harus selalu terkait dengan ini konteksnya, tapi akan membawa kepada pemahaman mereka tentang ya apa sih science, teknologi, engineering dan maths. Tapi tidak sembarang games Bu di sana. Dan hanya buka gamenya, apalagi kalau yang dibentuk sih kita memang punya tujuan pembelajaran yang khusus dan kita membuat games, ada kan ya yang seperti itu, kita mengeksplor mereka siswa yang mengeksplor games itu gitu. Itu maksud saya pertanyaan penjawabannya. Kemudian terkait dengan mengakses dari Bapak sumber belajar yang tadi, Bu Irma deh yang jawab. Karena she is a leader of our team. Saat ini itu untuk sumber-sumber media teaching media.
Oke, Bapak nanti hubungi saya ya secara pribadi. Kita punya website Bapak. Nanti di dalam website itu sekarang lagi pemulihan. Di dalam website STEP Education Center itu ada berbagai macam materials yang kita provide untuk teachers. Kita sudah memiliki berbagai macam lembar kerja, juga modul-modul yang bisa kita berikan dari mulai siswa SD, SMP, juga SMA. Dan ada buku yang juga bisa saya bagikan kepada Bapak-Bapak Ibu yang ada di offline hari ini. Oke, baik. Nah sekarang Bapak pertanyaan terakhir dari offline silakan.
Thanks in advance, Bu Irma, for the opportunity. And I would like to say thanks for the amazing presentation from both of you, Mr. Christoph and Ibu Ida. Bu Ella, mohon maaf. Punten. Ibu Ella, Ibu Farida. Mohon maaf Ibu Ella. Ya. I'm Adi from Bekasi, and my question goes to Mr. Christoph. All right. Yeah, we've heard many times about the educational system in Finland that is successfully achieved getting the highest score in international standardized tests such as PISA, OECD, and NCTM as well. And I'm wondering and still confused why some schools in Indonesia are not interested to apply that curriculum in Finland. Yet our school is more interested in Cambridge curriculum, Singaporean curriculum, and Australian as well. And it is, makes me confused sometimes. I don't know what happens in our education in Indonesia right now. So based on your presentation first, Mr. Christoph, I also ever heard about this STEM is actually as an approach, not an society as your explanation. So could you elaborate more about this STEM as the society, but not as approach? Since in Indonesia, we utilize this STEM as an approach to help the students in our lesson at the class. And for the second question is, if you were Minister Education Indonesia, no. It's just as a compliment. It's a compliment.
Maybe this is the last time I'm talking here.
Or if you were as an advisor.
Yes.
Education.
Yes.
Advisor education.
Yes. Much better.
What will you do first? What will you do first to be implemented in Indonesian educational system to get a better education future for future. Thank you.
Okay, wow. Be careful, Christoph. You have to answer it wisely.
Yes.
Okay, please. Your time to
So,
answer.
I'm very grateful for your questions. It's very challenging questions. So the first one was what was the first point that like STEM, yeah, STEM and STEAM, yes. So I wanted to emphasize that sometimes STEM and STEAM is presented like educational method, and then it's pointed out that we have no information if STEM or STEAM is working. There is no evidence about if STEM or STEAM is working. If you think about it, then there is how can you measure STEM and STEAM effectivity? How can you get some research-based feedback about STEM or STEAM just in general? There is no research which tell you that STEM in general or STEAM in general will work, because it is very simple, because it's not a method but the policy. But there are methods like project-based learning, inquiry-based learning, discovery-based learning, experience-oriented learning, playful learning. These are methods what you can put also into research situation, and you can measure how effective if you teach a material playful, and then for B group you teach traditional way or textbook based. So that's like a valid comparison you can do in scientific research, and you can point out different things about two different approaches. But here comes the interesting thing. So STEM and STEAM is a green light, like a permission or inviting the teacher to start work with their colleagues, for example, because there is no, I think, STEM teacher in the room or STEAM teacher in the room. I'm not a STEAM teacher. I'm just can have information in some limited area in my own subject, or and I need to go to my colleague who is art teacher. I need to go to Irma if I want to have physics teacher. I want to go to Dr. Ella if I want to have a consultation with math teacher. And this is the invitation for me if my curriculum support STEM or STEAM learning. I have the dedication, I have the permission, I have the invitation to combine my forces with the colleagues, and also to put together different methods. So I can use in the same class 10 minutes playful learning, 5 minutes discovery-based learning, 10 other minutes for reflection, 15 minutes to make some assessment, which maybe fit to this. Maybe we make a mind map, maybe we focus on the group work. So I have the possibility to do all of this if the curriculums tell, okay, Christoph, you are a teacher, you can do STEAM activity. This is what it means. So is it clear? That's what I wanted to point out, that there won't be like a handbook for doing STEAM activity and A, B, C, D, and you must use all the elements in all the activities, and if there is only 3 elements or if there is only 2 elements, that's bad. So that's not make sense. But the sense, the emphasis on the integration and the possibility to integrate. About next question, what I would do as an advisor, not as a minister. As a minister, I would resign immediately. that would be my first step and run away. But as an advisor, I would suggest to trust in the quality teacher education, and trust in your teachers and certify teachers on the highest level. Implement those methods in the teacher education, what you want to see out in real life. So let the teacher education is not like long lectures that I do now, but more a lot of learning activities, what we do in the afternoon. And then also when you have the certified teachers, then give the trust with them and let them realize their educational dream, because you certify them to be professionals, so trust them as professionals, and to make the system not the inspection very high level, and not when there is already some problem that needs to be handled, but to avoid problems, make the foundations strong. Yes.
Okay, thank you for your exactly answer. Thank you, thank you. So he will resign ya. Kalau mau jadi menteri dia mau pensiun, enggak mau mengundurkan diri aja. Karena terlalu kompleks. Okay, thank you, Crystal, for your answering and question sessions. Actually, when we see from the online, we have a lot of questions, but I think that we have a very limited time. So maybe the participant in online, I would like to choose one of the questions, and the question is we'll give to Dr. Ella. So the question is, bagaimana STEM dapat memfasilitasi kolaborasi mata pelajaran matematika dengan fisika, sedangkan konsep siswa tentang matematika masih minim. Terima kasih. Ini dari Bapak siapa ini ya? Dari Bapak Husnul Umam dari SMAN 1 Cikalong Wetan. Silakan.
Baik, terima kasih Pak Umam.
Husnul Umam.
Pak Umam aja ya. Pak Umam. STEM itu mengkolaborasikan antara ilmu matematik, fisika, sains, tekniknya bisa macam-macam ya, komputernya juga, barangkali teknologinya juga. Dan memang sih kalau kolaborasinya itu untuk dua mata pelajaran katakanlah itu akan lebih baik bebas konsep sih sebenarnya, bebas konsep. Tapi sebenarnya tanpa disadari di sana siswa itu sudah dibawa ke dalam konsep-konsep matematik, konsep-konsep fisika misalkan begitu. Jadi ya tadi dalam Arduino itu memang tidak ada fisikanya. Ada fisikanya kan ya. Konsep waktu tadi merangkai itu ada konsep ya pertama merangkainya sendiri itu sudah fisika, betul nggak? Karena saya jadi waktu mau mengguide, waktu mau mengajak mahasiswa mau nyusun Arduino itu, saya sendiri nggak tahu Arduino. Tiba-tiba, walah waktu itu di kelas, ayo bagian Arduino-nya. Ya saya belajar dulu sih. Jadi dosennya juga belajar dulu Arduino-nya. Saya merangkai Arduino-nya di depan mahasiswa, tapi ketika output mahasiswa, jauh di luar perkiraan saya. Betul nggak Bu Irma?
Betul.
Jadi kita itu hanya mendorong dia untuk memfasilitasi dia melakukan sesuatu, dia akan explore sendiri. Untuk misalkan kalau di perguruan tinggi ya kebetulan, kalau di SMA saya yakin anak SMA juga sudah kemampuan eksplornya di zaman sekarang itu udah luar biasa. Arduino-nya dia explore, terus kemampuan merangkai, katakanlah ada beberapa produk lagi yang terkait dengan suhu misalkan ya, itu dia explore tentang suhunya. Kemudian ada lagi yang di produk mahasiswa saya itu ada yang kalau berbunyi itu namanya sinyal atau alarm, semacam alarm untuk supaya kalau kita lagi baca komputer kan jadi gini gitu ya, nah itu akan berbunyi, nah kita jadi tegak lagi gitu, dia menghasilkan seperti itu. Tapi kan keilmuan itu yang lainnya dia eksplor. Jadi dengan satu tugas ini dia mungkin mengeksplor kemana-mana. Nah itulah STEM barangkali di sana. Gitu. Jadi dia benar-benar mampu mengintegrasikan segala materi yang mungkin di luar yang dia pelajari. Dan akan lebih bagus memang rada bebas konsep sih. Walaupun ya konsep matematik fisikanya sendiri masih agak tidak begitu dipahami. Tapi kalau memang tuntutan, dia akan mencoba ke arah sana. Dia sendiri akan membaca. Jadi ada lompatan pengalaman yang mungkin kita tidak bisa mengajarkan itu atau tidak sempat kita mengajarkan itu. Dengan tugas dia akan bisa mengeksplor sendiri. Tapi tugas yang menarik, nah itu tugas yang menariknya yang harus dibuat menarik itu. Ya, tugasnya yang harus menarik itu yang harus kita rancang dan perlu pemikiran yang bersama barangkali tim guru fisika, matematik gitu. Itu barangkali Pak
Oke, terima kasih Bapak Ibu. Kita beri aplaus dulu untuk kedua pemateri kita. Let's give a big applause to Dr. Christoph and also Dr. Ella Nurlaila. One more, please. Thank you. I think the session is over now. Thank you for all your participation, online participant. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. And then I hope you can also join another activities in STEM Education Center. We plan another teacher training with KNUE, Korean National Education University. We will conduct another teacher training. So don't miss it, and then please follow our social media, Instagram, Facebook, and so website to find out more information about our program, especially teacher training program. On August, we will have another teacher training. Jadi yang mau offline cepet-cepetan ya daftarnya karena pasti akan limited seat. Nanti yang datang akan ada 3 profesor dan Bapak Ibu akan mendapatkan material free dari Korea. Oke, sip. Terima kasih hari ini untuk partisipasinya Bapak Ibu yang di online juga saya ucapkan terima kasih. Mohon maaf apabila ada kata-kata atau tindakan ataupun teknikal yang bermasalah di sini kami mohon maaf. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya kembalikan ke MC.
Oke, baik. Untuk sesi pertama tentang sesi webinar sudah selesai dilaksanakan. Jadi untuk partisipan online sudah bisa untuk meninggalkan ruangan. Nanti insya Allah untuk sertifikat bisa diakses ketika datanya sudah lengkap. Jadi pastikan sudah mengisi daftar hadir yang dibagikan di chat Zoom. Lalu untuk partisipan offline, insya Allah kita akan lanjut kegiatannya setelah istirahat. Jadi silahkan setelah ini bisa keluar, ada sedikit coffee break ataupun mau langsung makan bisa. Untuk bapak-bapak bisa ke masjid juga, bisa di Al Furqon atau mungkin di DT untuk melaksanakan sholat Jumat begitu. Baik kalau begitu mungkin cukup sekian untuk sesi pertama. Saya MC pamit undur diri untuk sesi ini. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
You want to play guitar? So long ago when I played guitar, but this is like